Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX India List. In our endeavour to bring forth the stories of some of India's finest and brightest, today we have put together yet another unmissable lineup of India's who's who. Our first guest for the day is the new age action hero of Bollywood, Vidyut Jamwal. Known for his roles in Commando film series, he is a practitioner of Kalari Payattu. He has recently starred in a film Sanak, streaming on Disney Hotstar. Listen in.
As the new age action hero of Bollywood.
We were the first ones to take a chance with OTT the last year, and what a chance we took, man. It just changed everything for us.
He recently starred in an action thriller film Sanak.
I got a chance in life where I thought I could get to work with people who I really believed in. So Kanishk was one of them.
NewsX India A-List proudly recognizes Vidyut Jamwal for excellence in action films.
Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this special interview as part of our NewsX A-List series. We're in conversation today with an actor who needs no introduction. Yes, of course, he is the biggest and the best action hero we have in our Indian film industry, and he's all set to be back on Disney Plus Hotstar with his latest film, Sanak, this October. Welcome back, Vidyut, to NewsX, and good to have you back.
Thank you, man.
Well, we were talking, of course, I remember last year, with your new release on Disney Plus Hotstar at that time, Khuda Hafiz, and then there was all the talk about whether an OTT release can do well or not, why you're even releasing it there. And I think the response, silenced everyone because the film did so well that now you're in fact working on that sequel. So just before I get to Sanak, just tell us about OTT release. Of course, it's not in your hands, but it's turned out okay. It's turning out well for the industry, isn't it?
It's quite good. I have a lot of people who are working now. I've had friends who really had the talent but never got the work or a great platform. So I think OTT is doing a great job with a lot of talent to start with. We were the first ones to take a chance with OTT the last year, and what a chance we took, man. It just changed everything for us. And yes, we're working on Khuda Hafiz too. We are aiming for a theatrical release now. Sanak was made for the theaters, but everything was ready, and we couldn't just keep the movie hold. We couldn't just hold the movie, and because we do lose a lot of money if the movie is on hold. So we decided, why not just get the best out of it? And I've grown up watching Jackie Chan films on VHS cassettes, and I believe that this is the time for everybody to go on the platform Disney Plus Hotstar, press the pause button, slow it down, see what I've done, how I've done it, the way I've always learned from Jackie Chan, and just try it at home. So yeah.
True. Exactly. You're doing a Jackie Chan rerun for our Indian audiences. But just talking about Sanak, it looks very interesting. It's of course a hostage film, which we don't get too often in India. So what attracted you to the script? What was the clinching factor for you?
To start with, it's a bit different because Kanishk Verma, the director, is a friend of mine, and I've always believed in him. Before he was a director, he's a friend of mine. And every time he sat, and I used to look at him and I was like, wow, look at this idea. I love the way you think about music. And then I got a chance in life where I thought I could get to work with people who I really believed in. So Kanishk was one of them, and I made him meet Vipul, and they both just enjoyed each other and they liked each other creatively. And that's how the journey started. He came up with an idea, and we thought it was phenomenal. Chance, and I watched the movie.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the action in the film as well? There's underwater stunts. There's, of course, a lot of other stuff happening, which we've already just got a small glimpse of in the trailer.
No, I enjoyed it, man. I had to surpass everything that I had done in the past. And in fact, today I was watching the reviews by these international action critiques, and I was very proud of myself being an Indian. They loved what they saw. I've enjoyed everything. I put in the effort. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to use everyday utility things in my movie because he's not a trained fighter. He's just a martial artist, and how he could defend his wife and everybody in the hospital. So I had to be creative with the ideas, and people have enjoyed it. So
no doubt.
I think that they love the movie.
No doubt. That's interesting that you mentioned that. What the international critics also are saying about your action and the action in this film, and of course generally the action in India. Are you trying to do that as well? Consciously change the perception of India as well, and the world rather, to action. because of course people have loved song and dance films. That's what Bollywood has been known for world over. But is it also time, to make Indian action famous? And perhaps that's what you're trying to do through your films and also through the talks that you've also been doing outside the movies as well.
So for me, one of the most, I've been fortunate to be a part of the list of the top martial artists in the world, which include Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. I'm the first Indian to ever be there. So for me, it's anyways a very big achievement. Why I say this is because every time I do a movie, and of course it's action based, everybody internationally watches it and they're looking at the standards that we are creating. We have action directors from all over the world who come to work with me, and I love the fact that they come with an idea that we guys can do it better than a lot of people they work with. So I feel very proud. So every time I work with somebody from an action team or anywhere in the world, I enjoy surprising them even further. So that's what we did with Sanak, and
Okay. You also, your partnership with Vipul Shah, the producer of this film as well. Do you believe that's truly special? And you turn out some great action when you guys come together. From Commando to, of course, Force, and now Sanak as well.
Yeah, Vipul is amazing because he's the first guy who bet on me, and I owe it to him every time he comes up with a script. Even if there's a trepidation in my mind, I normally just let it pass because I believe he's done it for me. Why will I not give him a chance and chance and chance again, so that we can work together? So Sanak was something we both sat down and we were like, we've done this Commando franchise, and let's do something that we have not done before. And that's how we sat on the drawing board and we resketched everything. You will see a change in what we've done. It's completely different.
Okay. I have to ask you this question based on the title of your film. Of course, I can see though there's a smiley on your cap, but asal zindagi mein, real life mein, किस बात से आपको सनक होता है? What is that one thing?
Before we get on to किस बात से सनक होता है, Sanak is quite a positive connotation in my head. When I came to this city so many years back, I had this Sanak in my head. यहाँ जुनून था यार कि कुछ तो करना है. People have to stop and watch. They have to notice. I think that Sanak made me become who I have become, and the same Sanak will make me become who I will be. I know so many people who are crazy about things and they passionately follow it. And I think all Sanki people. And our city invites a lot of Sanki people. So yes, I'm Sanki about everything I do.
Yeah. Okay, great. It's good to be Sanki then at times, and that's what's obviously proved to be a success for you. But just talking a couple of questions hatke from the film before we end. With you, firstly, congratulations. You have just completed a decade in the movies. So how does that feel? And when you look back at your journey, what's the feeling like?
Thank you, man. But when I came into the city, there were so many no's around me. I'm talking about people who are closer to me, not my adversaries or contemporaries. It's just that there were so many no's because everybody around you, including people who are close to you, don't believe in certain things. So my idea that I realized in the last 10 years was that if you have an idea and it's your own idea, you better execute it. You better follow it, because there will be people around you trying to tell you that it can't be done. And not because they're negative people, they just don't see it. Once you do it, they start seeing that, oh, they also could have done the same thing. So in the last 10 years, what I can sum in simple words is that do not listen to anybody. If your instinct says that you can and you should, please do. And if you start listening to advices, it won't make you reach where you want to.
True. Okay. And I have to ask you, these days, of course, the IPL is on. After every match, there's an award given called Game Changer of the Match, which is given to, the player who changed the course of the game for his team. For you, in your career, which is one project or two projects which you believe were game changing?
The people who don't come from the film industry, every step has to be really taken very carefully, because the moment you slip, there'll be somebody who wants to take your place, or somebody who doesn't want you to be there. So it started with Force. Then I reached Commando 1. That was my first movie as a leading man. Then Commando 1 did well. I was like, I think I've arrived. Then came Commando 2. And then comes Commando 3. Everything is important. You can't say that anything changed my life. Like tomorrow is the most important day. Today is the most important day. So on a serious note, everything has been like the stepping stone to where I am today. All have been the game changers, man.
Okay. Is it true though that your mother is now saying, ki, I believe you're a fantastic action star. You passed in my eyes. Now now do something else. I want to see you, romance and make people laugh.
No, that's the only reason is how moms are, man.
Yeah.
Like they're so like careful and they're protective about you. So when she watched Commando 3, she was like, "You are so good. My God, how good are you? You should stop doing it now. Why do you risk your bones and your life?" So I thought that's a very mother thing, and it's amazing. You have to have somebody who can, with great belief, say that you've done it all. Now stop it.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, true. Okay, but are you planning to take her advice seriously?
No. But the only thing I'm doing seriously is I make sure that every time I do something difficult or if I'm about to risk my life, I make sure that I know that I have a mother waiting. So I'm extra careful.
True.
Normally I used to be reckless. Now I'm more careful.
True. But don't give up the stunts. Don't give up the action because that's what we're loving. That's what we're loving. And so congrats on that. Very happy personal space for you right now.
I'm happy, period. I've been happy for a very long time. I thought, yep, I'm happy.
Okay. Well, stay happy. We can see that on your cap, as I said earlier as well. Thank you so much, Vidyut Jambal, for joining us today on NewsX, and all the very best for Sanak.
Thank you there, man. I'm going to see you soon.
Our next guest for the day is founder and CEO of Saloon, Vipul Amler, a seasoned speaker and an organizer of the Deccan Ruby Conference. He leads a team of developers who specialize in web application frameworks. Listen in.
With an aim to help people reach their milestones.
So Saloon was started as a way for being a company which is employee-owned.
He is leading a team of developers specialized in web application framework.
We help like a bunch of different clients in various fields from e-commerce, healthcare, and so forth.
NewsX India A-list proudly recognizes Vipul Amler for excellence in web services.
Hello and welcome, I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on our special series NewsX A-list, and today on the show we have a very special guest. Yes, Vipul Amler is joining us on the broadcast. He's founder and CEO, Saloon. Welcome, Vipul, to the show. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, hi Uday. Thanks for having me here.
Well, great to have you as well. Let me start out by just getting you to give us a bit of an introduction about yourself, Vipul, before we talk about your company.
Hi, so my name is Vipul. I am a software developer who works on web and mobile applications. We primarily use technologies called as Ruby on Rails and React.js, which are used by major companies like Facebook, Flipkart, Instagram, and so forth. I've been in this industry for the last a decade or so. At the same time, I also have written books on these technologies, as well as other than that, recently I've also been doing small angel investments.
Okay, and just talking a bit now about your company that you've set up and founded, of course, tell us a bit more about it and how you decided to found Saloon.
So this is my second company in the last couple of years. So Saloon was started as a way for being a company which is employee owned, as well as having a very open, transparent culture. We started off with that so that employees have more input in the growth and so forth. Saloon specializes in the same thing, Ruby on Rails and React.js, and we help like a bunch of different clients in various fields from e-commerce, healthcare, and so forth.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the primary purpose of starting.
Okay, what are the kind of services you offer, and who are your primary clients, Vipul?
Yeah, so we many clients which are established clients, they contact us and reach out to us for our expertise on Ruby on Rails and React.js, which I used for building applications like you might have seen Airbnb or Amazon or Flipkart. So we help them to build the web applications, as well as we also have expertise in helping build them mobile applications that you use. For example, if you're using Paytm or Google Pay, these kind of applications we help our clients build out. As well as at the same time, when they're clients who are growing a lot, they come to us for helping them to scale or a bunch of different things.
Okay. And of course, as far as your clients' portfolio is concerned, are these specifically or only clients that you mentioned, or is it ever growing as we speak?
Yeah, so there has been a huge growth since the last year. I think that's one of the things that we have had a huge, a lot of people last year after the pandemic started coming up online, which has seen like us, for us, it has been like a very busy time for us, a lot of growth happening around.
Yeah, yeah. And just speaking about now the founding principles on the basis of which you started Saloon, what was that? We were talking about it a bit earlier about profit sharing and about
Yeah.
equitable partnership with all your employees.
Yeah.
So just tell us a bit more about that, and also what do you believe sets apart Saloon from others in the market?
Yeah. So the profit sharing was one part of the thing, but also we have been, and this is before the pandemic, like in last year, everyone started to do work from home or remote work, but we have been doing, or I have been doing remote work since 2011 or 2012.
Okay.
And that was the same principle as well, which sets Saloon apart. We have been doing remote work, and remote work has been our culture from day one, since we started in 2019. In terms of profit sharing, we are a services company, so we provide consulting with various different companies. So for employees to have more ownership in the company, that was one of our ways to, whatever profits we have, we actually announce them publicly as well and share the data or financial data with everyone, so that they're aware of how we are doing, and then also equitably distribute 25% of all our profits with our employees.
Okay. Fantastic. And and as far as, of course, now how the hiring's been going about, just tell us about how the hiring's been and how the expansion is going currently.
Yeah, so we are, because of like being remote, for us it has been both a mixture of good and bad. It's been good because we are able to hire from anywhere in the world, but at the same time, what has happened is during the pandemic, everyone moved to remote, and then the market in India has heated up so much. Because of a big boom from especially like startups, a lot of money being invested right now in Indian ecosystem, as well as since going remote, a lot of businesses all over the world have started hiring remotely, so especially from India as well. So for us, that has been like kind of competitive thing going on. But yeah, we have been, as I said, like we have seen like 200% growth in the last year or so, and we have always been in the process of hiring and scaling up. Although we try to keep higher like processes to hire like the best people. So we have been being mindful about that at the same time.
Well, this is the new normal. So I have to ask you, how does one go about hiring for remote jobs?
Yeah. So this is specific to our field. For example, what we do is we give some take-home assessments. We of course pay for them, like work that people would do. So they can work on their own time instead of blocking some time or in-person interviews, which traditionally happen. And then once they do that at their own time, which is how you would, as it is, work with us in an asynchronous fashion when you're working with us on our jobs. We don't have like a 9 to 5 thing. And then we go on to do the traditional video interviews and so forth. But it's very relaxed process instead of just one interview after the other.
Yeah. And what does remote work actually look like for Saloon?
So it's been like, since we have been like doing remote for the last a couple of years, our team was already used to the whole remote or work from home, which is going to be the same case for us. We do have an office in Pune and in Boston, but like people go there more for hanging out or socializing with the team. But for us, it has always been that we work remotely in an asynchronous fashion, allow people to it allows people to free up a lot of time, work from their hometowns, spend more time with their families, having a better work and life balance. So it's going to be the same way for us. We have settled pretty much into that.
That of course does lead me to my next question about the kind of professional growth and also personal growth for an individual indulging in remote work, in Saloon and at, of course, other places.
This is what I would also tell people when they used to, consider us as a company to join. Before the pandemic, that was our edge. Right now, everyone is going remote, so that's not anymore. But basically, what people used to, or why people used to approach or join us, is many of them are excellent. They are in their fields, but they don't want to specifically live in the metro cities. They want to stay back with their parents, or they want to do travel, or just in general work at their own pace. So for us, that has been like the basic differentiator or focus, like how we have been able to attract, or how remote is going to be for us. And at the same time, like remote work is like work from anywhere, but it is not necessarily like they have to work in silos. We all, of course, have a team in Pune, and whenever people need, they come and hang out and work with the team as well.
Okay, final question then. Any plans for the near future that you can share with us? What's the road ahead looking like for you?
Yeah, so we have been scaling a lot, which is one of the primary reasons, like, putting the word out there that we're hiring, or there has been like a huge growth right now in India. So many of our clients have been primarily in US, but now we have seen like a huge growth happening in India as well. So we'll be focusing on these two markets going ahead. But at the same time, we are growing a lot. So also, looking at ways for expanding in hiring, or having, some plans for also, having plans for teaching people while they're on their jobs and such cases. Yeah.
Okay, well, great. Vipul Amre, thank you so much for joining us on NewsX, and wishing you and of course, Saloon, all the very best in the years ahead.
Thanks so much. Thanks again for having me.
And our final guest for the day is prolific actor Rohit Bose Roy. Known for his roles in Hindi television series, he has also acted in some of the notable Bollywood movies. He was recently seen in the series Sanak Ek Junoon, which is streaming on MX Player. Listen in.
Best known for his versatile acting.
Attraction was Vikram Bhatt and his writing. I've been a long-standing fan of the way he writes, the kind of content that he creates.
He recently starred in series Sanak Ek Junoon.
When he called me for Sanak, I was actually taken aback, because it is not the kind of show that you'd associate with me.
NewsX India A-List proudly recognizes Rohit Bose Roy for excellence in acting.
Hello, welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX A-List. We are in conversation today with actor Rohit Roy. He's all set to be seen on MX Player's Sanak Ek Junoon. Rohit, welcome to NewsX. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Uday, for having me. It's quite a pleasure.
Let me just start out by talking to you a bit about this new series, of course, which is streaming on MX Player, as I said. What attracted you to the character? What attracted you to the show? Was it the layers, the gray layers in your role? Was it just the fact that it was backed by the Bhatts? What was it about the show?
Well, quite honestly, the major attraction was Vikram Bhatt and his writing. I've been a long-standing fan of the way he writes, the kind of content that he creates. And I've just done a show with him before this called Memories, which was one of the most anticipated shows. But unfortunately, at that time, it was in another OTT, so not many people got to see it. But that's where, I got addicted to Vikram Bhatt. I've been addicted to him since Ghulam. But I love the way he writes. He's a dear friend, and when he calls, I don't ask him what I'm doing. When he called me for Sanak, I was actually taken aback, because it is not the kind of show that you'd associate with me. It's not the kind of character that you'd associate with me. I'm going back to what I've done. I've never really played a character who's like this. And it's not really about the grays. I've played grey characters. He's a character who believes that there's nothing wrong in what he's doing. Grays are decided by various people. What is white for me might not be white for you. Which is, what actually eventually drew me to the role. Ajay is, as a character, believes that there are certain compromises to be made, and they're actually fair to make those compromises in life if you want to move ahead. So, aksar zindagi mein, when we reach a crossroad, we have to decide whether I am going to make a compromise with my morals to get ahead to the next stage, or should I trudge along till I reach the next stage without compromising my morals? In real life, Rohit Bose Roy would never compromise on his morals to reach ahead in life or in his career. I'd rather work hard and keep at it, which is why it's taken me 25 years to get here. I would have been in a different space otherwise.
Yeah.
But Ajay doesn't think there's anything wrong, and you can't fault him for that.
Yeah.
You can't sit on judgment and say कि अजय ये जो सोच रहा है या जो कर रहा है वो गलत है. That was the challenge, so to speak, for me as an actor to take up Sanak, because when people watch it, when you watch it, I hope you watch it.
No.
You will realize that you can't say कि अरे यार ऐसा कोई करता है क्या.
Yeah.
You will actually be in a conundrum whether to call him white or black.
Yeah, but do you believe, you were talking, of course, earlier about Vikram Bhatt, that no one makes thrillers like him, in the country. And also, do you as a viewer, Rohit, also like thrillers? Do you like watching thrillers? Is this one of your favorite genres?
Yeah, I mean, I love thrillers, and I have 2 point of views here. Unfortunately, right now, there is an overkill of thrillers on OTTs.
Yeah.
I feel there should be a little bit of everything. Like there should be comedies, and there should be human interest dramas, there should be romance. I miss romance on OTTs. But having said that, I love thrillers. That's my major consumption, whether it's on television or film or OTT worldwide. Thriller is a genre which I never tire of, because there's always constantly something happening.
Yeah.
Even when people say when I'm tired, I want to watch this. No, when I'm tired, I'd like to watch thrillers because it ups my BMR and my blood starts flowing. And so yes, Vikram makes all those kind of shows, and his again, even making the same genre, his writing is so different in all the shows that it's like, what I did earlier was Memories. It was different.
Yeah.
Sanak is totally different as far as my character is concerned and the show is concerned.
Yeah.
So yeah.
True. Well, you were telling us interestingly earlier about a comparison between your character and your real self. Do you believe that in real life you are ambitious? Were you ambitious when you were growing up, when you were younger? But obviously, of course, you were saying, the kind of morals are very different between your character and your real life. But were you, when you look back at yourself, were you ambitious, or were you someone who was just ready for whatever life would give you?
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm very ambitious. I never was. See, when I started my career with Swabiman, they said an overnight star is born. So I was born. I was a star. I'm a star. I did work thinking I'm a star and I'm going to remain a star. It didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
But I'm not ambitious enough I'm driven, yes. I like to put out good work, yes. I want to be part of good projects, yes. I hunger for good work, yes. But am I ambitious? No. Do I want to reach another higher stage? Yes. So it's really how you, for me, it's a promotion at a job. It is not ambition that I need to be somewhere else. No, it's not that. I'm very content the way my career and my life has been going over the last 10 odd years. Yes, I have regrets of the first 10 years of my career, because I was not ambitious enough and I didn't do enough. I didn't put in enough effort. In spite of not being ambitious, I should have put in the effort, which would have taken me to stage 2, which I didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, those things, yeah. But I'm not very ambitious. I'm driven, and I will make, before I die, you will say, oh yeah, Rohit Bose-Roy was part of this industry. That's an ambition, if you call it ambition.
No doubt. If not an actor, what would you have been?
Yeah, a professional traveler.
Okay.
Earlier it was a professional beach bum, but now I've changed my profession to a professional traveler because I love traveling.
Yeah.
I love seeing new places. I love meeting new people. So I thought, supposing I stop getting work, God's given me enough to last a lifetime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take up odd jobs in all countries, different places, maybe be a bartender in the Bahamas, work there for 6-8 months, learn that job, get a skill set which I can survive there in the Bahamas or the Tahiti's. And, when I'm bored, I travel on, I move on. Yeah. That's what I want to do. So if not an actor, I would be a professional traveler.
Okay, well, that's become a profession now with all these travel influencers, and travel bloggers, etc. But just looking back now at of course, the work that you've done, that you were just talking about. आजकल IPL भी चल रहा था, तो IPL में एक पुरस्कार दिया जाता है, game changer of the match. Who changed the game of the match for his team. For you, which has been one project perhaps or two projects that changed the game for your career?
I think the real game changer in my life, I didn't capitalize on. Rice Plate that I directed with Nasir Bhai and Shabana Azmi should have been my game changer. That was definitely the game changer in terms of people's perspective towards me, their perception of me. Everybody who saw the film, including the actors, said, my goodness, this guy is a fabulous director. That didn't quite change the game for me. I don't know why, whether it's destiny or karma or maybe lack of effort. But that should have been my game changer. As an actor, I think my game changer has been twice. One was Shootout at Lokhandwala, which was a definite game changer in the terms that the first time I was not a hero, but I was playing a character in a gang. And that really worked. And that gave me another lease of life. Because all my solo films had flopped by then and I was out of work. And post that, I did a film called Kabil a couple of years back, 2017, where the game really changed. And that's what got me back into the reckoning, because the people hadn't seen me in a negative role ever. And that kind of got me back into the reckoning. People started thinking of casting me. Even after 25 years, I'm playing central characters on television and leading roles on OTT. And for me, that was the game changer.
Okay, great. Final question then to you. I have to ask you. Firstly, I didn't know that your brother Ronit Roy shared his birthday with Mr. Bachchan. I saw your wish to both of them, of course. So just explain that, because as you said, a lot of people didn't get that. One, someone you were born with, and one, someone who you were born to. So you want to let us in on the joke?
Chalo, abhi aapne pooch liya hai, to main aapko bata hi deta hu why what that means. That basically means the first 10 years of my life. And if I don't know did you ever see Swabhiman?
I have seen glimpses of it. I didn't watch it, of course, then because I was much younger. But of course, I've seen it.
So Swabhiman was my debut, and not only in Swabhiman, but 5 years after that, for the first 10 years of my career, I only copied Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay.
Which is why I was born to him, and he was born to me, because the only thing I could do was just copy him. Which is why that line. And all my friends know it, because they used to, I would never be able to talk in my own voice. I would talk like him. I would imitate him. Rishabh Malhotra was a sum total of Amitabh Bachchan. He was the angry young man of television, if you remember. And all of that led me to so they used to say that 10% of your earning you should send to Amit ji. Because tu unka kha raha hai. So I think for the first 10 years, I did very little in terms of furthering my craft. All I did was just copy him. And there was a time when people used to joke, he was in exile at that time when I was doing Swabhiman. He said, Abhi Amit ji वापस आ रहे हैं, अब तू अपना style change कर ले, नहीं तो you'll be out of work. So that's why the comment.
Okay. Very interesting, of course, but always a pleasure. Thank you so much, Rohit, for joining us, and good luck for Sana Cake Junoon.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.